Make sure you go ahead and give him a follow. Great personality and even a better shooter. When you think about it, their team member sitting now in first place.
Also a delectable dessert, frozen treat.
Yeah, no, straight up.
Have you ever had a Chocotaco?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Who hasn't had one?
All right, no, that's true. I've had one. Let me
course you
clarify. You guys are both staring at me. I've had a Chocotaco.
We can go to a gas station right now and go get you something
Yeah, let's
if you
go.
haven't had one.
I'm at 7-Eleven after this. Chocotaco. If you win Twitch Rivals, I will go and buy a Chocotaco right after this, and I will tweet you about it. And you probably won't see it because you're a super big celebrity. But I will do it. I promise you. That'll happen. At WavePunkRL on Twitter, I guess.
Weird flex, but okay.
This was a sellout flex. That's what that was.
The one thing I did want to bring up here, before we got into the beautiful debate of Chocotaco's 2019, was the fact that they are running what we have argued is maybe the most, standard composition right now, with the Wraith, Bangalore, and the Bloodhound. It's just interesting to note because they are a very standout team performing and debatably one of the biggest pools of celebrities and popularity here at Apex Legends. So the fact that they're holding their own lead in the pack and they're running with that is something we got to keep our eyes on.
I'm also gonna, I'm gonna bow down for you second for here, Dreadnought. You talked a lot about the Spitfire, and I gave it a lot of crap at the very beginning.
It's pretty gross.
All of the top players have been running Spitfire because they understand recoil control, and because of its large clip size and the fact that it has heavy ammo, it's actually doing pretty well for all of these guys.
It's one of the gun types where its downside is something you as a player can adjust. Exactly. Where it's something like how many shots they have or how much the bullet spread is not something.
And so when we take that argument, right, if that's the one element I can't adjust when I look at the gun itself, and I've been talking about bullet clips and sizes and capabilities all day long, and there's a reason for that. The reason the Spitfire is such an outlier is if you hit every shot within that clip and you remove that element you have control, how many targets in theory could you have killed comparative to your average gun? And the answer is more on the Spitfire than every other one. So you correct that, and that means you have more lethality than anybody else. The biggest drawback past that is going to be range, right? Is how far can you get that threat out?
There's a lot of loot here, guys.
Currently rolling on through the Cascades area.
Here.
It's really fun to watch the current standing as well, or the current state of the game that we look from Chocotaco. We've been tuning in on a lot of the players when they're in kind of like these top 5 scenarios because it is exciting, it is really cool. But for those of you hardcore BR fans out there, it's even more fun to watch the rotation strategies of what we like to call the mid game.
Yeah.
When you're in that middle state of the game, you're at the end of round 1. Coming into the part of coming through the end of round 2, that's more of that middle game area, especially in these high aggression games that we're seeing thus far. And it's really interesting to see players that have been doing so well, such as Visions, Huskers, and Chocotaco, on how they're rotating in this more open situation.
Yeah, because there are a lot of unknowns, right? That you kind of have to make a bunch of reasonable assumptions, hold them as true, and then make the most educated, not only kind of choice and rotation for the team overall, and then see if that pays out. But if it doesn't, then you really have to call an audible rather quickly in these type of situations, only because kills have been so heavily incentivized here at Twitch Rivals.
You'd think Reed's Money maybe gave everyone an opportunity when their last game didn't go so great. They only got 3 kills, were out pretty fast. But then he bounced back. They have 14 kills with 11 squads remaining. There are plenty of teams that 14 kills is a good game for them. And here, they're only halfway through.
I love how that's the standard of play that we have right now in Twitch Rivals. Oh, you only got 10 kills. You need to do better. You're not doing as good as you need to. You need to walk up and try to get one of those 15.
Like your brother, Jimmy. Jimmy always brings home the 20 bombs.
Nice. Okay, let's keep going.
That was 10 out of 10. I'll give you that one. I needed to give you dramatic silence for that one. That was pretty good.
Can't deal with Jimmy there.
Why is it yellow? Why is it?
Jimmy.
What is this game?
Care package far west.
Chocotaco here, 10 squads remaining now.
Dude.
Rocking the Peacekeeper as well. He's got his close range locked down, and then everything else is handled by the Spitfire.
To the balloon.
They're all in a really good spot as well because they've got themselves epic
but I'm here. I'm
armor
alive.
too.
Let's go jump in with Summit in the gang. We haven't seen them for a little bit. Summit, Josh, and Bye-Bye.
Bye-bye.
Still on that rare Pathfinder.
Finding themselves in a top 15 5-squad left situation.
I think we should go back.
Now, while things do look good for them, considering the fact that we see Josh OG with 10 kills, he's gotten 0 armor, and he's only sitting on level 1 armor, so that common armor that you can see all across the map, which by and large doesn't seem like a lot because it's definitely not. That's an extra 50 effective health, essentially. And when you get to those later stages of the game, where you have the enemies with a fully kitted weapon, you're going to get chunked pretty quickly.
I love Josh OG's infinite dab up in the corner. The little ghost dude in the top left. Just going at it, man.
Yeah, if you shoot the bomb,
He is. He's back and forth. It's
That's
dust
serious cardio.
You're right.
4 hours of just infinite dabbing.
Found themselves at least one squad. Already got a knock around the truck. Great tracking here. Coming out from Josh OG. Very well done there. And with the Spitfire.
Yep, and there you go. You actually saw he communicated it to his team a second ago, and he was able to do that. Shooting the bottom of the caustic barrels, that little red ring disapparates it immediately, which gives you just enough counterplay to not get slowed down so you can chase the enemy or draw back if you need to.
Bye-bye, though, receiving a bit of pressure. Josh OG not able to connect there with that longbow. Throws out the thermite as we get a flank from Summit as Bye-bye also gets pressure on the side. 4 squads going ahead and remain. A lot of damage coming through. That's going to be the first knock out of, again, one of those 4 squads left. I believe they have one more until the full knock. And another squad down here for the big old boys. Josh OG and friends wasted no time to gain a couple of points.
Let's be clear. It's possibly Josh OG, okay?
It's not the real, you're right.
I know he's on Josh OG's stream, but like the guy in game is clearly named possibly Josh OG, so I'm not sure. I'm not convinced.
Definitely not Blitzcrank.
No,
I
definitely.
gotta grab more ammo, guys.
But he's most certainly possibly above 50% a chubby stormtrooper.
For sure.
Little marshmallow. And I can tell you this much, he shoots better than a chubby stormtrooper.
He does.
Shoots a
He does
lot
indeed.
better. Shoots a lot better than all the stormtroopers, man.
I like the, what is that, Ren or Stimpy in the background? I forgot the difference between the two, but
So many. Have you heard the theory about how stormtroopers actually were intentionally missing in the moments where you see them
yeah,
missing?
that's not a theory.
This is canon.
That's life.
That's life.
That's real.
Is this some weird allegory to people aren't there when you need them kind of thing?
no, it
we
was
just
like-
went down a deep dark path, Dreadnought. I don't think this is the way we want to
It
go.
was one of those, like, how can our, dreams be real? Like, I was trying to, what is it, the Will Smith's child? I was trying to just
I'm getting shot.
And
become the prophet.
this is where we've reached ourselves.
Let's just go check in with DrDisrespect. Let's go see how the Doc's doing right now. Is he being able to beat up on Shroud? He's currently ranked more highly than he is. It's ranked 3.
Hasn't been able to get himself an elimination yet thus far, though his teammate, Viss, is certainly keeping it up. He's at double digits with 10, 9 squads, 26 players left remaining, and it looks like they're in crazy of enough firefight. Lots of damage coming out from that EV8. Shotgun, he's going to try to see if he can get him on the recoil. He does. The Pathfinder goes down. Elimination complete. That's going to be some extra kills into their pockets, and they find themselves in a good spot.
I think that's the first kill we've seen with an EVA.
Yes, it's not only the. We might have got one in Europe, maybe one, but you are right. Out of a majority of the shotguns, definitely Peacekeeper has been far and above the highest priority. But I want to bring up something that we saw out of Viss there when it comes to the element of movement, but then what he did with specifically Bangalore in the passive. He actually utilized that he had an auto shot and took the passive by them scouting and shooting at him for mobility. He didn't waste that to flank. He goes, I'm coming at you. That the Pathfinder had no idea what to do within that choke, tried to run away, and let's be real, you can't run away from auto shotty when Bangalore just hunted you down.
Where you going? Come on back. Now the Arc Star is in to clear the house. And what happened?
The sticky grenade stuck the tape too.
I just want to know if it goes through the door. There we go. And then it is the grenade. So you can use grenades to blow open doors.
Great.
People in there. Look at that.
Oh, 59 damage.
Charging on in.
Able to get it, knocked down for 1. He's going to immediately go in to try to get more. He's going to use the Bangalore passive, just like you were talking about in the last engagement.
Yeah.
A couple of hip fires are going to go out. He knows the guy went out the backside. He's going to ADS to try to get down slice, paints a silhouette around his character. Bangalore smokes to try to get a little bit more out of it, and it's the hip fire, the knockdown. One more still left alive, though. He needs to be careful.
Yeah, and they got to just track down the third, wherever he's going to be at this point in time. I don't believe that they are going to maybe look for a ping with the Bloodhound. They found him inside the house. It seems like somebody's kind of spraying there.
Oh, there he is. He's going to have to try to get one more. It's going to be a mirage. Is he going to be able to get it? He is. Muscle Murphy, I'm sorry. It's back to the lobby you go because Viss, DrDisrespect, and Crafty are running huge.
And one thing happened early in this initiation before the chaos kind of keeps happening here is, but after that grenade went down, the 59 damage that came in, they knew that after they got the knock on the staircase, there was a second target upstairs due to the information on the lack of shields based on that grenade before. It's one of those moments where the UI elements of Apex Legends allows you to make very smart choices in very quick time frames. And Viss, I mean, he's been clutching it out on that all day.
Yeah, and just when you think all of the action is over, squad after squad is concaving down onto DrDisrespect the Craft, but they are not backing down. It is another knockdown. Crafty's able to pick up this one. A little bit of slide coming out of Viss. An assist as well as DrDisrespect finally gets on the board and gets himself a down onto iHuge Pickle. There is still one left remaining, though. It wasn't a full elimination, so Scouty, he must go.
Blow me.
You know, I don't know where I'd be if iHuge Pickle wasn't knocked out
Yeah,
of this
man.
group. I'm not gonna lie, man.
guy's,
and his teammate DeCuck over there. DrDisrespect and friend, able to rid of the shenanigans here.
He is purging this lobby of all of his shenanigan names. Now is Viss rolling in more wingman play. We got multiple games, like 3-something games going on with people dropping 20 bombs at the moment. It's just when you start to think like, this will be the game that puts them ahead. Nope, everyone else is right behind them.
And this is something that that really speaks to the streamers that are involved here in North America. There were clearly some outliers in Europe. You had ZF, you had the Nordics, you had Team Main that were doing really well on that side. Now, if you take a look at the standings and you see what you have on the other side of the board, every single team is showing up to bat. Every single team, just when you think, oh, well, they're out of the run, and they're dropping 20 bombs, they're dropping 25s, they're breaking the new record with a 35. They are showing up to play today.
And I want all 6 of them.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, 100%.
And I think that word, that sentence, if you will.
Thanks for the 200 bits, man. Appreciate it.
Thanks, dude.
Right as you finish that, jump, he comes in and goes, I want all 6 of them. And I think that shows exactly the thought process here is there are 6 people left, and if we don't say, that we are the ones executing each and every one of those, we're doing something wrong. And that's a mentality the guys have to have because it is a very tense race there at the top half of our standings. DrDisrespect looks like he's going to kind of move up and just scout a little bit there as he drops a portal for retreat if things get a little bit hairy. And we are back at what feels like the prime place of action over Apex Legends. Every game seems like this is very much the beginning or end of it.
Team Papega, just an update, currently dropping 28 kills.
Oh,
Our game's not over yet.
Above me here.
And that's after they've been stepping up the ranks pretty heavily in points, actually. They're a group we might have to look out for. Hold up, though. A little bit of damage, not enough to get rid of the shields, but a full flank actually going down, knocking all the shields. The teamwork and focus fire here, tracking it down. Look at that. That is the power of the Spitfire, how long he was able to hold down that pressure and that damage. They're spraying through the smoke, end up getting the first knock here.
Get him, they got him. That's the squad. Just one more squad left.
2 squads
right here.
left remaining, and they found them. The action has not stopped the last 5 minutes. It's been DrDisrespect the Craft that have been going time after time again, squad after squad. The Bangalore passive gets popped out. He's going to throw the tactical ability down as well to get a little bit of smoke. He's going to beam with the Spitfire, but it's not enough. It is Viss against the world. We've seen opportunities from their team. The knock isn't going to happen. It is. There's one. There are multiple members left alive. Things are not out of the count just yet. Viss has the Phoenix kit. He's going to try to get himself a full heal. Thankfully, he's able to do just that.
Phoenix kit goes off, but as we've said, it is not over yet. Does his teammate go for the reses in the same way that Viss has decided to go for the reses down below? The shots come out. It's a lot of damage, 50% damage onto the shield. Goes for the smoke, buy him a bit of room. He sprays down. That's 2 versus 1. No shielding remains onto Viss. Goes back, looking at a Phoenix kit. Will he commit?
Oh, yeah, he uses the shield battery, so thankfully he's got a little bit left on that epic armor to try to give him a little bit of something. The full finish gets finished off there. It's a lot of finishes.
But that did reveal where they are. The fact that they even have an angle on that one member there.
Now remember, he did get that knockdown. There was an opportunity for the enemy actually to get the revive. Thankfully, he's got the height advantage now. Lots of damage, is able to break the armor, which means it's time for him to push. He's going to get a lot more. The armor breaks. You can hear it. A knockdown has happened. He's going to switch to another one. Full elimination. There's still one member left alive, though. He's going to have to be careful.
He's getting flanked there. I felt like he had a little bit of pressure from above. Apparently not. Able to buy time to get the shield battery, knowing that he's got to be in the river down below. He goes for the execute, so he is in the river. Viss knows where he is. One target is going to remain. He gets the flank. Lifeline is dead.
Champion banner goes across. You can see the excitement on Viss's face. The headset comes off, but it doesn't matter. They get the 5 points. DrDisrespect the Craft showing up huge.
Oh, man, it was the power of G Fuel, man, carrying Viss all the way by himself. The 1v3. So important, too, that he gets the elimination on that first down, or the second down there, to make sure he guarantee they're not going for the revive. There's no way I'm going to get the situation. We saw someone in Europe have that exact situation. The 1v3 gets the down, didn't get the finish. The revive comes out, gets pinched afterwards.
I want to bring it back to some of the information. I talked at multiple moments throughout that game how they made smart choices. Viss did it all game long. He had so many moments where he's like, UI information number 1, which leads to how many situations they can be in, and then capitalizing when they make a mistake. And even at the end there, that execute, the only way he can kill their allies is from above because of how against the wall they are. That leads to only one place they could have been. He knows he heals on the backside and goes for a solid flank. Yeah, the lifeline maybe could have looked out for it, but all things considered, Viss constantly pressuring when an opponent makes any kind of questionable choice.
And it seems like it's a strategy that you take a look and you're like, oh, you're just going here, you're just going there. No, every tiny piece of information in a BR is extremely important, especially with the pure mobility that Apex Legends brings to the table. Viss, in that clip, showed true and tried, said that backwards, but it doesn't matter, how he is capable of taking the information that he has and rotating efficiently. And at the end of the day, when shots need to be hit, he does just that.
And hey, it was very fortunate for them that final team just pressed right in. Like, cool, the fight's right here. We don't have to go looking for it, we don't have to go hunting for it, no wasting of time. Let's finish the fight, let's get out of that one, and they get the win. Folks, we're gonna take a quick break, and I know you'll miss us, but trust us, we're gonna leave you with Summit, we'll keep you company, stay safe, we'll be right back.
You saw me. Hey, I got a couple of kills before I died.
You get 6 kills. That was a fuck up. All right, well, I said I wasn't gonna go down, but I died. Dude, fucking A, it's so annoying sometimes how some teammates spread out in the weirdest ways. I did not expect that guy to be at the fucking building.
Looting in weird spots, but we got pushed by like 2 teams from up the hill. And I never had any guns I liked until the very end, and then I never got shoot.
Oh, mistakes are being made.
I think we're going to do great, friend.
Just fucking hugging that building, dude.
Fly fighter. The end is decided. Trust it.
This is your champion.
All right.
The jump master. I won't let you down.
Bunka.
Welcome back to Twitch Rivals, folks. We're about halfway through our North American Apex Legends event. It's been a lot of fun so far. We've got some of the biggest streamers in North America here competing today. Summit 1G has been one of the mainstays of North American entertainment on Twitch. Let's get to know a little bit more about Summit.
Punch him! Ah, jump kick! Ah!
Oh, press N to inspect your gun.
N?
N.
Ooh.
That's
cool. I smoked right side. This guy, no shield.
I hit him so hard.
Another guy below.
Oh, I got him.
Woo! Let's go, baby. Oh, sick.
Summit fantastic player in so many games. Huge Sea of Thieves guy. If you like Sea of Thieves, this guy plays it a lot. He's always hunting for those Athena chests. But right now, he's looking for them dubs.
Piece of shit Mozambique.
Not happy about his loadout at all.
A sentiment that is shared by a lot of players of Apex Legends. And again, every game needs one gun, and Mozambique, it just fills that role, you know?
Yeah.
But what I will say on the flip side, nothing is more rewarding than somehow getting a kill with a Mozambique and then being on that receiving end and just hating your life miserably.
Yeah, been like, what? What just happened? No. Oh. Reed's money team still up on top, breaking into the 200 club. Disrespect the grab. Leapfrogging Kings Canyon into second place on the hunt for that #1 spot. Only a 2-point difference, though, between Kings Canyon and Disrespect. Pepega taking it the 4th there as they've been crawling up. The Broys, the team that seemed like the clear favorites, struggling right now.
Summit was able to at least take the Mozambique and hit a pretty solid upgrade in the downtime, right? Like he translated over to a Peacekeeper a little bit later. It's just like, it is one of those most frustrating circumstances when you like land at a very, kind of populated area and you find, you just run through the house and you're like, just a gun. Okay, and you're like, helmet, there's a backpack, some shields, and you turn the corner, you're like, I see the bullets, I know there's a gun, and then it's just, pew, a Mozambique sitting right there.
That sound effect pops up in your game, guys. So if next time you load into Apex Legends and you see that, you'll hear the pew, pew, specifically in his voiceover.
Yeah, the same way we got the Jimmy voiceover coming in soon out from Wavepunk. Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, the Jimmy's mother, excuse me.
Jimmy's mother.
Jimmy, don't you be disrespecting Jimmy like that.
Jimmy brings home the 20 bombs, dude. You don't mess with Jimmy.
I'm gonna stay with you then. Stuck him.
Apparently a bit of pressure here. It seems on the bottom side of bridge, actually all the way in river. We'll see how Summit decides to rotate to that. He does have the high ground on the left-hand side if he wants to move. Seems like that's going to be the case. Pathfinder can jump down a little bit more comfortably than most, but with the rest of the roster down, they're probably all in pursuit.
You hear the shots coming off. Summit doing a really good job at keeping that verticality until he has vision of where exactly they are. They're able to get the full squad wipe, so good spot now for Summit and the boys.
Yeah, that was really well done. I think, I don't know, this is one of those, because the game is so early, theory crafting in the long run, like who's the best person to put in those circumstances. First glance, I'd be like, maybe you want the Pathfinder in the river over the other two just because he can get out and things get wild. But the team clutches it out very well here. And we'll just be keeping track of how they're able to, keep this tempo, because I think that's the biggest thing, right? Is we know these guys all can kill. It's just whether or not they find the right targets and keep the pacing in every single game.
Guys, if you are like, man, my boy's Huskers.
I think I'm gonna keep this.
Why aren't you showing Huskers? He's been fragging out. The dude's an absolute monster. He's 11 kill average right now. Well, hey, Huskers live on his channel. You can go and check him out. Click the little black circle over to the side of your screen. It'll bring up a list of all the people who are currently competing in Twitch Rivals. You can go give them your love and support, and they'll really appreciate it. But for real,
I decided
I kind of want to watch some Huskers at some point. The guy has been crazy.
Is he statistically the highest
216 bombs, 114, 112, and 118.
Where was it? Fuck.
Just by himself, and I believe, and I'm just going to double check here real fast.
There's a big med kit
Yes,
somewhere.
he is barely edging out Dizzy
Who does he
as
play?
the highest average kill.
Please tell me it's a Bloodhound.
It is a Wraith.
Nothing would have made me happier than
Two Wraith players leading the leaderboard right now.
a Bloodhound that is played by a guy named Husker. So it's just something about that feels
pretty
right.
thematic, yes.
Yeah.
I like it. And right now, not a lot of roster changes happening as far as in-game lineup. Tim, High Distortion, and Jay have been sticking with the Caustic Bangalore Wraith comp.
That's rough. So his character model actually ended up scraping the bottom of that Leviathan rib. Skeleton rib, whatever you want to call it.
Leviathan rib sounds perfect.
Yeah, he was able to hit that. So unfortunately, he wasn't able to actually get any of the extra distance off of that balloon redeploy.
There's a pretty cool Leviathan tibia, though, up down the way of this path that you actually can climb up on and hold as high ground.
I think that's just like a top 10 highlight of the day for me, is the fact that we actually got to learn that, like, what those animals were called.
Yeah.
And that they're a Leviathan.
We're going to go check in with the Broys here real fast. They are near the end of a game. I believe they are down to the last man. And it is Skadoodle who is in the Beast mode right now.
Yeah, and that's why everybody's grayed out.
Everyone's looking at him.
Skadoodle is the only one alive.
He is, but he's also able to hit shot after shot. You saw that wingman was hitting every single time that he clicked his mouse, which is a good opportunity. Now, thankfully, though, he was able to get both of their respawn banners, and with 5 squads left alive, it could be an opportunity. And I know you're shaking your head because this is the probably worst spot, Dreadnought, to respawn someone.
It is the hardest res ever, period. Based on
It's
how
Skadoodle.
tense of a moment it is, 3 angles of approach.
Ooh, there's these people. Did you see the
That's
shots?
what I'm saying.
Shots just came out of there. There are already people there.
This is unreliable. I'm not saying this is a misplay. I'm just saying this is a challenge. This is a man versus legitimately the world right now. This is going to be a tough one. We'll see if Skadoodle can get out. He right now.
Are there any other respawn points in the circle?
I don't know. I'm going to say there's at least one pretty close, but I don't know how tense the circle is currently.
And here's the thing, once a respawn point's been used, it's consumed.
Yes.
It's gone. You can't use it, so that might legitimately be the only one that's available at the moment.
I believe they got others based on the ping and how big that circle was. I think it's very, very low chances all of them were taken at this point in time, but it is going to lead to a bit of a trek. We'll see if he goes for the balloon route just to get farther distance based off of that, knowing it's far away. There it is off onto the right-hand side. Looks like balloon into res is the call. We'll see if the other res group decides to pressure, knowing this is the next closest.
Yeah, it's still a really huge gamble, though, for Skadoodle because, like you mentioned, the other side of that canyon is right there that you can see on your screen. And so if these members are any sort of intelligent and they decide to go back around and they hear what's going on, and there we go, just like we're talking about, he's able to get one, though. It does have the extended mag, so he can flop off a little bit more shots of that wingman. Tries to get a little bit of the flank. He is
down the hill.
Down the hill he goes. The sliding silent killer is able to get it. Goes down with the longbow, is able to hit the 55. He gets the elimination. 1v3 Skadoodle. What are you doing?
That was
a monster.
Disturbing.
And I want us to stay on this perspective. We're about to get to watch 2 people respawn in. We haven't got to see that yet. We haven't got to see what it looks like. But if you haven't played this game before, this is what you see when you get to play the game again after you've died. The only battle royale in existence where that's a thing.
And now can we just take a minute, okay? We watched Justin earlier in a 1v3 clean up a whole team by himself. We have seen Shroud do that over and over again on his own stream. I don't know if he has yet at Twitch here, but he is clearly, you know, a player who can do that. And now, the third member, Skadoodle. And you might be going, well, Dread, every one of them on their own, great players can pop off. What I'm trying to highlight is they sit at 4th. That means we have 3 teams that can outperform this group that has shown every one of them can just solo squats.
Big change. The Broys jump up to Pega and Canyons joining the big 200 club, chasing down Reese Money, flip-flopping above DrDisrespect. What a back and forth right now. DrDisrespect and company, they're currently on a 7-kill game. They could definitely get back up there as they are early on in that one, but still back and forth. This top has been so volatile. I've never noticed that this area is called the Shattered Forest.
It's honestly visually one of my favorite areas, actually. Even though it's very the same theme.
The like charred ashes on the forest
to
itself.
Me, it looks like it looks like sulfur smells.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's fair, dude. You can tell it's seen some stuff, that's for sure.
Yeah,
you know, like it's not its first rodeo, maybe a little PTSD behind it.
I just got out of bed, please. Let me get unshattered for a moment before you start putting me in front of 50,000 people.
Yeah.
Going for the ult again.
Who can we find this time?
Where are the bad guys?
Come on, team.
Can you imagine if you put Bloodhound's kit with Pathfinder's attitude?
Please.
Where are the enemies? Let me seek out your souls.
I would love to kill every one of them.
Where are they?
I'm just gonna
metal knuckles to the face.
I'm just gonna exist in this conversation.
You're enjoying it. You like it.
The distance between us is vast.
There is only 2 squads left. Again, having to hunt for the last squad.
I want to see
be Skadoodle's life.
I'm ready for them to start saving ultimate accelerators for the Bloodhound, just for the late game, because I think that teams, I don't know how much analysis, you know, probably North American players were probably playing and prepping for themselves rather than watching the European games, but we have seen this enough that I think it might be a viable strategy for this tournament.
And they don't have a lifeline, who's the other player you usually pump accelerators
Yeah, exactly.
So might as well.
Well, I think that's the decision you make between the mid game and the late game as well. Once you find yourselves fully kitted up and you don't really need those extra care packages, now you're trying to figure out, all right, where do we want to funnel those ultimate accelerants into? And I think you make up a really good point, Dreadnought, and that needs to go into the direction of somebody like a Bloodhound. It could be argued as well, a Bangalore in some instances, but by and large, it just creates so much more offensive opportunity.
Yeah, I think it, especially for this format, I think enables that strategy even more so as things go down. But now we play the hunting game, you know? And it's been one we've seen this group play quite a bit.
Scared.
I'm gonna guess they're in that 3 choke channel that we were already seeing. More often than not, it seems like that's where teams kind of weigh. They like to feel like they have the high ground advantage along with the tight corridor that teams can't move into. That being said, they usually struggle at checking their flanks well enough, and that's where our streamers have really been able to thrive. I think it's twice now we've seen a team try to hold their own, and then they got flanked and killed. So we'll see if that happens here as they're headed right for the choke.
Oh, there they are. They say they know exactly where these guys are going to go. A little bit of a climb up now for Skadoodle. He's going to try to see if he can get a little bit. Oh, there's the 103. We got to freeze frame it for you so you know what's going on, because he's going to have to hit another one. Clip it, rock it, keep it, because Skadoodle is hitting the shot.
Get this kid out of here. That was mid-slide momentum downhill with the leap, and he's going to flick that. Slides down. Oh my, what is he doing?
Doesn't matter.
Skadoodle!
You want a decline, I want a shot to the face. Champion banner comes up.
And look at his face. He's like, all right, cool. We got a woo out of him.
Another day in the life.
He's like, oh, no, that was the 4th best shot I've hit this week.
We all know
Holy
Skadoodle,
crap.
former professional player, former champion, has what it takes to click heads, but now on a whole new game like Apex Legends, certainly flexing the muscles.
He won the event of the year in 2018, and we've only started to see the beginning of what he can do. Let's go jump on over with TimTheTatman and company. We haven't seen them in a while.